Namaste. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. May there be wholeness for all. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Gita chapter 7, one of the most fascinating chapters when we follow the very thought process. We land up understanding the real self and what normally people call God. But then there is a refinement in thought process to understand how to understand the ultimate reality by which we can realize our true nature. It lays the foundation. The last time we discussed, it lays the foundation of who we are, reality. We are not the body, mind, intellect, and ego, but Krishna did not ignore this. He said, this is your lower nature. So before understanding the existence, ultimate reality in the God, the Master is asking us, we must understand our true nature. Our true nature is Satchidanand, existence, consciousness, and bliss. We already have gone through the chapter 2, all-pervading, eternal, unchanging, unborn, cannot be objectified, deathless, and imperishable. But how to recognize, realize, and live into that state? But in order to understand, we have to also to understand the ultimate reality. The Master starts this journey with a caution, discipline, devotion, surrender. In order to, as contrast to the previous 6 chapters, individual, karma yoga, and purushartha. So in the 7th chapter, he is laying a foundation that what is the ultimate reality. Instead of karma yoga, you have to move and transition to upasana, a devotional, or you can say kind of surrender. Surrender means a recognition that my ego cannot fetch me any result. Ego itself is insecure. I am attached, so I built my ego and I am seeking happiness out of that attachment. Not possible. It keeps on changing. So the Master lays a ground, beautiful ground. We can understand that a mirror revelation. What is that mirror revelation metaphor? We discover true identity before finding the God. We have to be very clear. Imagine looking a broken mirror your whole life, thinking the cracks and the distortions are who you really are. Am I making a point? I have a lot of stress today, my relationship is not going on very well, and I have a problem of possessions in the wealth. What should I do? I don't know. Imagine looking in a broken mirror your whole life. Change your perception, thinking the cracks and distortions are who we really are. So Gita 7 teaches us to see beyond the broken reflection to discover our true eternal nature. It's such a beautiful, even if you think like this, your perception changes. But why? Without this self-knowledge, we live in delusion and suffering. Through recognizing we are existence, truth, consciousness, and bliss, we reach to a real identity. Why real identity? Because we recognize we are not temporary body-mind. And what is that divine characteristics inside? All-pervading, unborn, deathless, and imperishable. It's a great discovery. When we realize our true nature, we understand the ultimate reality. Both ways. You can reverse. When I understand the nature of the God and the ultimate reality, I'll end up understanding this is me. So it leads to the freedom from the delusion that we discussed last time. So basically it is a shift from temporary to eternal identity. Freedom from the fear of death and the change. Once your intellect abides in what the Master Krishna is saying, you will recognize day after day that there is no fear as such, there is no fear of the death. Understanding that leads to understanding our divine nature, and we prepare for self-knowledge, awakening and realization. Doesn't it look like that we are moving from a dream character to the dreamer? Dreamer is pure consciousness. Consciousness shift. We shift our consciousness from the limited self to unlimited awareness. We dissolve our fear. That is what Gita is all about self-inquiry. But self-inquiry comes from the God inquiry. Do you see that first 6 chapters? What are you? Who are you? What is your nature? What are the characteristics? And in the 7th chapter, Master Krishna, skillfully, he is a master teacher. He says, okay, self-inquiry, yes, you have been doing it. Now understand the self-inquiry comes from the God inquiry. Your true nature is already what is the nature of the God. Recognition, not achievement, is the path. How to understand this? It is not an achievement, it is the recognition and understanding. It is something like diamond in the dust. You recognize your eternal nature like a perfect diamond covered in the dust. You're already complete, just needing recognition of your true radiance. So what changes in our life when we realize we are not the temporary roles we play, but the eternal witness of all experiences. So it transitions from karma yoga to upasana. So when you are abiding in upasana, you have a recognition. Modern psychology uses the word cognition. It is the same thing. So we make it simpler and simpler. Medical science makes it very complex, it goes beyond the range of comprehension by a common man. That is why we say it is a science. Anyhow, daily self-inquiry is required. So understand we need couple of points. Identity discovery. Identity crisis to identity discovery. Identity crisis anytime you feel fear, anxiety, duality, conflict. Oh, identity crisis. Why identity crisis? I am hooked to something that is temporary, including the body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. Let us solve this by discovering my identity, settling in with conviction that I am not the body mind complex but the pure consciousness itself. So, what happens? You have a fearlessness foundation. Anytime, anywhere, whatever is happening outside, they are bound to happen. So you start uprooting the suffering. In that very process, you are preparing for a self-knowledge. Oh, you are preparing for a self-knowledge, yes. And your behavior, attitude, emotion changes every day. Your perception is very clear. Perception is very clear. That means what? You start living in peace and happiness. What it all means? It shifts your paradigm. It's a paradigm shift. I am a human having a spiritual experience. That is one aspect. You transition to I am a pure consciousness having a human experience. Don't forget this statement. I am a human being having a spiritual experience. Don't run after this. The moment you have this perception, this limited perception in your mind, you will not be able to progress even you have reached to the level of a higher seeker. I am a human being having a spiritual experience. No, I am a pure consciousness having human experiences. Are you getting it? Eternal nature makes temporary challenges manageable. So that is what the foundation building is. Our master, dear Master Krishna, also asks, ever wondered why spiritual seeking sometimes feels like chasing shadows? Master Krishna reveals a profound truth. Before we can understand God's nature, we must first discover who we really are. Self-knowledge first. Satchidanand is our nature, recognition our achievement, and once we follow this, we understand now. But then there is another problem comes. We have already accumulated our experiences since our childhood. You are good to me, you are not good to me. He or she is my partner, I have money, bank account is empty. Do you see the duality? I in the bank account, I am in my partner, I am and I have a stress. Duality, duality, duality. I'm taking you to a journey to have a clear perception and understanding of the Gita chapter 7. So, what is this duality? Why I think like this? Did you ever question? No, she or he is separate, partner is separate from me, so I have a dual thinking. So, the very problem is the dualistic thinking, and this dualistic thinking ultimately causes the delusion, problem, ignorance. What is dualistic thinking? That I and you are separate. Now you start living the whole life from waking state until you retire to the bed. In deep sleep, you don't have a dualistic thinking. You don't have any perception. You don't have any experience. You don't have any object. You don't have a partner. So, in deep sleep, and when you wake up, you experience immense happiness. Dualistic thinking, non dualistic thinking. So, this dualistic thinking, Master Krishna brings to us that dualistic thinking between the creator and the creation. And from that perspective, Master Krishna is defining who is God and what is God. So the moment we have a dualistic thinking, we have a problem. What is that problem? The God becomes limited, has boundaries, becomes finite. God lacks control. God lacks control, must operate from a distance like a cosmic remote controller. How can something truly be infinite be separate from anything? If I'm infinite, how can I be separate from you? The moment I feel I'm separate from you, I'm limited. And when I'm limited, then how can I control you? For example, in case of the God. So the very separation is dualistic thinking. The very dualistic thinking in our daily life implies the limitation. Implies that limitation. There is no cosmic remote control. If there is a cosmic remote control, then you have a problem. So the Master is coming out. God as both the causes, scientifically, rationally thinking. In order to gain the knowledge and understanding, we see the effect, we go to the cause. So I discussed last time, it's a material cause and the efficient cause. Like the pot maker is the efficient cause, and the very clay is the material cause. Intelligence, consciousness present in the pot maker uses that, brings the clay into form, in the name in the form of the pot. So we recognize here is a pot maker, here is a shoemaker, etc., etc. But this applies to the human, where the God, he is both the material cause, he is the efficient cause. He is the substance. If I am using a masculine word, he is the substance like gold for ornaments, and he is the designer and maker like the goldsmith. Like human creation, where the carpenter is efficient cause, is separate from the wood, the material cause. But the moment we use the term God, God is both the clay and the potter of creation. That is why I gave you an example understanding. Creator and creates the creation of name and form and enters into it, which is not possible for the human effort. It is only possible for the God. But if I recognize my nature is that, my nature is that is where the Krishna says, Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. Both are one. So Krishna identifies it with the lower nature and the higher nature. Where is higher nature? Para-prakriti, pure consciousness, unchanging, formless, self-luminous. It is a movie screen that remains unaffected. And what about the para-prakriti? Creative power appearing as all the forms. Creative power. Creative power appearing as if the clay does not possess the power to be converted into a pot which belongs to the para-prakriti, you cannot have a clay pot. So it means the clay has a power or the property of changing into different name in the form. And the para-prakriti uses that. So you have a clay pot. Now can you compare? Like movie screen displaying countless films. The screen shows all the drama but remains completely unmodified by any story. Can I recognize that I am like a movie screen, the pure consciousness which is not affected, which is the para-prakriti, and the drama is unfolding every day. Today drama, horror. Tomorrow drama, sensual pleasure. Next day the drama, and long list. Next day drama, I got $50,000, rich. Fourth day drama, I lost it. Oh, don't separate from this drama. God is still, the God is both beyond and within the creation simultaneously. So what the Master is pointing out, that I have to abide in the para-prakriti, I have to settle into that para-prakriti which is beyond the change. I gave you another example. Look at it very carefully and reflect on it. Intricate piece of jewelry, then gestures to a plain lump of a clay. Imagine you are admiring this stunning necklace. Who made it? A jeweler. But what is it made up of? Gold. What if the jeweler was gold? That is the mind-blowing truth. We are diving. Understand what exactly we are discussing. We are exploring Eastern wisdom, profound solution from the Eastern wisdom of creator and creation problem. And we say the ultimate reality is both the material and efficient cause. We have many expressions. He is ever all pervading. So he is not. God is manifesting in you as name and the form which claims you are real self, but your name in the form is not real self. The presence of that all pervasiveness in you is our real nature. And then it becomes, we can get rid of the dualistic thinking where I started. What exactly is crucial for all of us? Because understanding this changes everything about your relationship with the life's challenges. You don't have a good relationship with a partner, but now your perception has changed. God is manifesting as him or her, in her or his name in the form. Should I need to fight? Should I need to settle the score? Should I need to fight? Delusion is gone. Should I need to settle the score? Ego is gone. Are you understanding? You stop seeing yourself as a separate entity, battling external world, forces, situation, events, and start realizing you are an integral part of the creative process itself. That is what the Paraprakriti and our message of the Krishna by helping us understand Paraprakriti and Apara Prakriti. What is the conclusion? From the dualistic thinking to a non-dualistic thinking, from the non-dualistic thinking to understanding the all-pervasiveness of one reality. Like you are both the screen and the story. The profound wisdom is that you are not just a character in the movie. You are also the screen upon which the movie of your life plays. This truth is incredibly liberating. Mind will not accept easily. Why? Mind is full of delusion, ignorance, distractions, long list. It means what? The universe is not outside. The universe is not outside of me. I look inside myself, everything that I want, I already are. I'm an unwavering consciousness witnessing all experiences. So I am consciousness having human experiences. I'm not a human being having spiritual experiences. So in the first 6 chapters, the Master Krishna skillfully says, do karma yoga, get rid of this I-ness, so that we can experience I am pure consciousness witnessing all the experiences and the dynamic energy shaping them. For the sake of understanding my friend, I am still repeating, God is both material and efficient cause. Paraprakriti, understanding my unchanging, pure consciousness nature, and Aparaprakriti, constantly recognizing my dynamic and creative power. So, what exactly is the takeaway? We are fundamentally unified with the creative source, not separate. We possess both an unchanging, peaceful essence and dynamic creative power. Then what happens? All the challenge is that human being experiences are opportunities for conscious creation. They are opportunities, not an external battle. Are you understanding? Take another way. Think of like a movie screen. Explosions, drama, romance, fight, killing. They all play out on the screen. My today's anxiety, yesterday's pleasure, day before yesterday's sensual pleasure are just a drama. But does the screen itself ever get burned, or sad, or romantic, or horrific? No, there is something in me that doesn't change. No, it remains pristine, perfect, just witnessing. Master Krishna says we are that screen, pure consciousness. I would use the word Paraprakriti as Krishna is. So when I embody this, I gain the ability to navigate dramas in life with a profound equanimity. I will talk about that equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is yoga. So whether it's an explosion, drama, romance, it is playing on the screen. So the para-prakriti is not at all impacted. Not having an impact is the state of the mind which is known as the equanimity. But it takes time to reach to that. That is what understand this clarity of understanding the divine architect. So our mind should get rid of that there is a remote control operator, because if I consistently feel that there is a remote control operator, I will start searching my identity, my reality outside, into the temple chair and long list of dogma belief. Krishna is bypassing all that. We are fundamentally unified with the creative source, plus the creator, possessing both our unchanging peaceful essence and dynamic creative power. Say, if I stop speaking, you don't know whether I'm able to speak or not. But the moment I speak, I can visualize both the essence, all pervasiveness inside, and outside is the power of the speech through the body, mind, intellect. Both the material and the efficient cause. I have to recognize that material and the efficient cause with our awareness every day in our daily living. That will take us to upasana. Why? The mind is now hooked to, or mind is abiding the para-prakriti. It is aware of the para, it is aware of the screen. I gave you that example. It is always aware of the gold and also the necklace. Are you getting it? When we grasp that ultimate reality, which serves as the material and the efficient cause, it fundamentally shifts all my perspective in life. This means we are inherently connected to and participate in the creation of reality, rather than being a separate external force. I'm trying to make you clear through many metaphors. Unified cause. So unified cause is a non-dual. So I have to get rid of the dualistic thinking. The universe isn't built by a separate carpenter, I told you before. Dual nature of the existence, they cannot be separated. Dual nature, para-prakriti, apara-prakriti. So what is going to happen in your personal, professional, social and family life? Example, employees feel more connected knowing they are the essence of the work, if I am an employee. And hence resilience. You can navigate challenges like this scenes on the screen, knowing your core leadership presence remains unaffected. You remain unaffected. Play is going on. One employee says, get lost. The second employee says, no, I will do the best. Is it not a self-discovery? When you realize you are the source of the solution, not just finding one outside, breakthroughs becomes more natural every day in your life. So then there is another problem. The mind raises the doubt: creation without change? Impossible to understand. I'm summarizing the entire Gita, chapter 7. So, if I do something, I feel exhausted. I work, energy is lost, so I eat the food. Creation without. No, this is all belongs to Apara Prakriti. We are very clear. But you have to go deep into contemplation, reflection, and meditation to recognize. But the master, another master, helps us to understand by a dream metaphor. How does anything happens to the sun when it projects its light on the mirror to something else? Light is projecting on my hand. Did anything happens to the light? Same way, Paraprakriti has inherent power, natural power to project forms. You'll understand, I know that it's not a big deal. You have been a great seeker. Consciousness, just metaphorically. Don't go scientifically. Metaphor is almost equal to the concept, but not exactly similar. That is why we say. So the water has an inherent power to project the waves. But why I say project, the wave is itself the water. The wave is limited by the name in the form, but it is water. We are trying to understand creation without change of my essential nature. So that consciousness has an inherent power to project forms. My friend, you have to listen to again and again, especially these different metaphors, to help the intellect to have a conviction, to have an intellectual maturity to understand the projection appears real within itself. What did I say? The first principle, I have broken those principles into, maybe you can say, 2 or 3 steps. Let us see how many steps we can together create. The first is, consciousness has an inherent power to project forms. Sun has, when it falls on the mirror, it has the inherent power to project. So it projects. When it projects, it is a reflected light. And that reflected light appears, that projection appears real within itself. Wave says, I'm a wave. I say, I'm a human being. I say, I'm a teacher, you are a seeker. Don't argue with me, I'm just giving it. Okay. Oh, that projection appears real within itself. I use the word appears. It is only a projection. Projection cannot be real. All human beings are projection. My partner also. Why am I fighting? Why am sensually attached? Oh, so the first thing, again I'm repeating, consciousness has, or the Paraprakriti has an inherent power to project forms. That becomes the Aparaprakriti. So that is why Krishna says that Aparaprakriti, lower nature is me. So first it has the inherent power here. So inherent power has to project. I have an inherent power to speak. You have an inherent power to speak. So when you don't speak, You are abiding in the real self. I am abiding in the real self, provided I reach to that state. But if not, and then I don't pick up that, but at least I pick up that this is all the projection. And the projection appears normal. So the master says body-mind complex is not you. It is only a projection. But still I believe two or three principles. Another corollary, you can projector remains completely unmodified. In case of the sun, reflected light, it can be modified. Sun cannot be modified. Same way, the para-prakriti cannot be modified. Wherever, on which medium it is projected, it can be modified. But that projector, that real self, is the projector, cannot be modified. When you dream of mountains and rivers, I give you an example. You don't physically become those landscapes. Your consciousness creates the entire dream world. Your consciousness creates the entire dream world without changing your essential nature. Am I sure? And if I'm sure, that explains how the infinite can appear as a finite without contradiction. I'm using a Sanskrit word. Creation is called the vivarta, the apparent transformation. It is not actually transformed. Para-prakriti is not transformed. It's an apparent. So the word is used as vivarta. It is not the parinama, the real transformation. If my life is all the pleasure, pain, duality, conflict, high, low, money, no money, marriage, no marriage, if my life, the entire life is like the dream of a god, just imagine. Example, how does this change my relationship with both success and failure? If it is a dream, oh my goodness. What I'm saying that is an example, just perceive clearly that if or your whole life, I have seen your pain, pleasure, attachment, detachment, tribulations, challenges, success, failure, bankruptcy, and then again returning. If that is life, and if that life is the dream of the God, how does this change your relationship with both success and failures? Samatvam yoguchyate. Equanimity is yoga. Equanimity of the mind. But you are saying that I have that sense of equanimity in pain, pleasure, duality, conflict, relationship, no relationship, etc., everyday experiences. What is that working? I sit down today with you and I'm talking to you. What is all this? Yesterday I did not sit with you. I'm not bringing in other concepts, but I'm just focused on only the Gita chapter 7. So the master is pointing out it is my intelligence. Krishna is saying, It is my intelligence is working everywhere in this creation, in this world outside. Mountain is mountain because of me. Me means Krishna. River is river because of the Krishna. How can you say? There is an intelligent operation in having a mountain. There is an intelligent operation, different operation in the river, in the trees, in all of us. And that intelligence is one. That intelligence is consciousness. That intelligence is Paraprakriti. I gave a broader example, so bring it a little closer. So our masters, including our master teacher Krishna, says that creation demonstrates purposeful design at every level. Universal constants fine-tuned for life. There is a constant in the universe, and that constant is all pervasiveness. That constant is unchanging. That constant is Paraprakriti. I'm using the physics. So natural laws that the science has discovered creating order from the apparent chaos. Anywhere, if you have an orderliness, what is orderliness? Water is water. Can you convert the water into a mountain? Space into the fire. Whatever you do, the space remains the same. Water in Australia and India and US, anywhere, in your home, in my home, the essence remains the same. The intrinsic nature remains the same. Incidental nature changes. What do you mean, incidental nature of the water? Put the lemon, sweet lemon, Coca, Pepsi, wine, beer. Essence is the water. Incidental nature changes. Water as an essential nature does not change. Paraprakriti, that human intelligence, that maintains the ecological balance also in the flora and fauna. Science found it, and they want to maintain the ecological balance. It already exists. I believe you have understood, so let us bring it closer. We were born. At least anyone who is just born looks cute. Whether I was born or whether the cub of the dog is born or the kitten is born or the sapling is born, it is always cute, isn't it? After 80 years, what happens to that cuteness? You have many bags on the face, on the whole body. It is on the verge of decline. What happens in the middle age? What happens in the youth? Attraction. You see the divine intelligence. You see the Krishna is working in all of us. When we were just born, irresistible cuteness. Why cuteness? If the science says we believe in cause and effect relationship, we believe in cause and effect relations, so find out what is the cause of the cuteness in all the newly born babies, irrespective of their species, including the plants. You know, we say plant sapling. It attracts, but it attracts you softly, gently. You move gently and softly towards that cuteness of a child, of a newly born. So why you move gently and softly? Because you have an understanding of protection. I understand. Paraprabhu is still, Krishna is working now. What about the youth? Oh, it is designed for attraction, hormonal changes, marriage and species continuation. If you are not attractive at the young years with a tremendous hormonal changes, we cannot attract even the opposite sex. But I want to know from where this cause of this attraction. Cause of this attraction, hormonal changes. Why the hormonal changes took place at a particular age? Why it did not take place in the childhood? Why it should not take place in the old age? Krishna is present. Divine intelligence is present. Go and have your experiences. What about the middle age? In the middle age, we are not so selfish. We say, okay, let us contribute, do some good service. I have lived my life, now do something for others. And in the old age, all attraction is gone, all cuteness is gone. Nobody is attracted. It's better to have a grey beard, so that you save yourself from. Do you understand what I want to say? And if you have uneven grey hairs, it is much better. But it is so natural at this old age. Physical decline, that attraction, but still we want to put lot of things on the face to get attracted. That creates. What I wanted to convey, based on these principles laid down by our Master Krishna, Krishna is saying the baby's innocent cuteness in the charm is not accidental. It is not incidental. It is a designed intelligence of the Krishna ensuring survival, protection, care. One of the most beautiful principles, or you can say corollary, we can draw. What is that corollary? What is the principle? That what is created cannot work on itself. Points to a transcendental intelligence guiding all the natural process. What is created cannot work on itself. What is created, the play, the drama, the romance in horror, cannot work on itself. There has to be a screen behind. That is para prakriti. It's a good point to reflect. Different phases of our life reflect this intelligent design guiding us towards our spiritual growth. where I want to come to in this today's lesson, we should have some practical recognition. In modern psychology, practical cognition, people find, oh, cognition seems to be very big. Where's the recognition? Knowing, knowledge. No, I want to know that what is the practical recognition of today's talk. God appears as the intrinsic nature and essential nature in everything we experience. Tell me anything you experience: pain, pleasure, duality, conflict, pleasure, etc., etc., etc. God appears as essential nature. What is intrinsic? Intrinsic nature or essential nature, and accidental nature and incidental nature keeps on changing. What is the essential nature of the water? Coolness. What is the incidental nature of the water? Hot. During the winter in India, we used to have a geyser, hot water, and then we used to take a bath. But if you put the hot water anywhere, after some time, the water goes to its essential nature. The incidental nature of hotness disappears. Practical recognition. Are you understanding? Taste in the water, light in sun and the moon, intelligence in humans, strength in the strong, sacred sound Om in the Upanishads. Are you getting it? So if I'm looking for the intrinsic nature is water. Incidental nature, you can make it beer, you can make it wine, whiskey, rum, juice. Is it a projection? So is a husband a projection, wife is a projection, opposite sex is a projection, age is a projection. So it contains the incidental nature. What is the essential nature? Consciousness. What is this? Paraprakriti. Can I have that cognition all the time? Wall. Apparent nature, my friend. Physics says this wall consists of small particles, molecules and atoms, electron, proton and neutron. No, these are not particles, these are waves. What is wave? This is nothing but the energy from where the quantum physics. But my limited perception of the eyes and the mind perceives this is a solid. So do I need to change this wall? No, I have to change my perception. Perception means what? Knowledge, understanding. This is what the Krishna is saying. Taste in the water, light in the sun and the moon, intelligence in the humans, strength in the strong, sacred Om. It is like electricity manifesting as light, heat, motion, apparent reality. Sound through the different appliances, apparent reality. Power is one. Do you think that the consciousness passes through the mind first reflection and second reflection through the eyes? I can see the form and the color, and the same consciousness reflected through the mind goes through the ears. You are listening to me. So do we have two consciousnesses, or it is only one? It is only one. Where is that one? Paraprakriti. para and apara. So when we understand what our master says, para prakriti and apara prakriti, dual nature signifies oneness. Understanding this, what happens? Now I know what I have to do in my spiritual practices and daily living. I'll talk in detail in our next lesson. The practices becomes an expression of understanding, not mechanical action. Challenge is seen as divine intelligence guiding growth and evolution. Death loses terror. Why loses terror? The para prakriti has changed its projection. That's all. Para prakriti remains. Why para prakriti remains as it is? It is intrinsic. What is intrinsic? It is essential. What is essential? Unchanging. Service becomes worship. If I serve anyone, by the way, I'm also serving you by giving a talk. Service becomes a worship. Worship to what? Worship and devotion to that, that, that God. What is the goal? The goal, Master is saying, please stop identifying with the body and the mind, again and again in different thought, speech, and action to reach to that state. How can I live today with recognition that I am para prakriti? Ask yourself. Temporarily playing the role of this particular para prakriti. So that is what I said. My master is manifesting in you, demanding me to express the principles. If I have understood it clearly, so my master is working in the apara prakriti and triggering through the para. Yes, that is what is happening. That is what is happening, my friend. That is what is happening all the time.